I told my girlfriend, understood, after she bailed out her ex with our vacation fund. Then I disappeared before she realized what I meant. I'm 32, work in IT consulting, and until 3 weeks ago, I thought I had my life figured out. My girlfriend Sarah and I had been together for 4 years. We lived in a modest 2-bedroom apartment in Portland, split everything 50/50ths, and had been saving for a trip to Japan we'd planned for over a year. That fund had nearly $8,000 in it. Money we'd scraped together through overtime, skipped dinners out, and canceled subscriptions. It sat in a joint savings account we'd opened specifically for the trip. We were supposed to leave in 6 weeks. Then I got that text. It was a Tuesday afternoon. I was in a meeting with a client, phone on silent, when I saw her message pop up on my watch. I'm using our vacation fund to bail my ex out, you'll understand. I stared at it for a solid 10 seconds. The client was still talking. I nodded automatically, but I wasn't hearing a word. I excused myself, went to the bathroom, and read it again. No explanation. No question. Just a statement, like she was telling me she'd picked up milk. I opened our banking app. The joint savings account showed $247.32. She'd withdrawn $7,600 that morning. My hands were shaking when I typed back. Understood. Then I turned off my phone. Not airplane mode. Off. I went back into the meeting, finished the presentation on autopilot, and drove home in complete silence. No music. No podcast. Just the sound of my own breathing and the occasional turn signal. When I got to the apartment, Sarah wasn't there. Her car was gone. I sat on the couch and stared at the wall for maybe 20 minutes, trying to process what had just happened. Sarah's ex, his name was Derek, had been a constant low-grade irritation in our relationship. She'd dated him for 2 years before me, and they'd stayed friends afterward. I'd never loved it, but I trusted her. Or I thought I did. Derek was the kind of guy who always had some crisis. Lost his job. Car broke down. Rent was late. And Sarah always felt responsible somehow, like she owed him something for their shared history. I'd voiced my concerns before, gently, and she'd always reassured me that it was just friendship, that she'd never choose him over me. Apparently, $7,600 said otherwise. I didn't turn my phone back on that night. Instead, I started packing. Not everything, just essentials. Clothes, laptop, important documents, a few personal items. I worked methodically, quietly, like I was dismantling a life in slow motion. Around 9 p.m., I heard her key in the lock. "Babe," she called out. "Are you here? Why is your phone off?" I walked out of the bedroom with a duffel bag in my hand. She froze. "What are you doing?" "Packing," I said. "Packing? For what?" Her voice had that edge to it, the one she used when she was about to get defensive. "I'm leaving." She laughed. Actually laughed. "Because of Derek? Are you serious right now?" "You took our vacation money," I said calmly. $8,000 we saved together. You didn't ask. You didn't discuss it. You just took it. He was arrested," she said, like that explained everything. "He needed bail money. He didn't have anyone else. That's not my problem. Or yours. He's my friend. He's your ex," I interrupted. "And you chose him over me. Over us." She crossed her arms. "You're being dramatic. I'll pay it back. When? I don't know. When he gets on his feet." I actually laughed at that. "Derek's been getting on his feet for 4 years, Sarah. He's never once had his shit together. You don't know him like I do." "Apparently not." I zipped up the bag. "But I know you now." Update 1. I stayed at my buddy Mike's place that night. I still hadn't turned my phone on. Mike didn't ask too many questions, just handed me a beer and set up the guest room. The next morning, I turned on my phone long enough to see 47 missed calls and about 30 texts from Sarah. I didn't read them. I turned it back off and went to work. At lunch, I went to the bank. I closed the joint savings account, what was left of it, and opened a new individual account. Then I started making calls. I contacted our landlord and explained I'd be moving out. Checked our lease. We were month to month, so I gave 30 days notice for my half. Then I called my mom. "I need to ask you something," I said. "Can I stay with you for a month or 2 while I find a new place?" "Of course," she said immediately. "What happened?" I told her. "Not everything, but enough." She was quiet for a moment. Then, "You did the right thing, honey." I didn't feel like I'd done the right thing. I felt numb. That evening, I turned my phone back on. The messages from Sarah had evolved. First message, "Where are you? Call me." 10th message, You're being childish. 20th message. Fine. If you want to throw away 4 years over this, go ahead. Most recent. Derek paid me back. I can transfer the money. Just come home. I opened my banking app. Sure enough, $7,600 had been deposited back into the closed account, which meant it had bounced back to her. I called her. She picked up on the first ring. Thank God, she breathed. Where are you? Doesn't matter, I said. I'm not coming back. But I got the money back. Derek came through. I told you he would. In 2 days, Sarah? He paid you back in 2 days. So what's the problem? I closed my eyes. If he had the money in 2 days, he didn't need bail. You got played. Silence. He didn't, he did. And even if he didn't, you chose him over me. You didn't even ask. I said you'd understand. No, you told me I'd understand. That's not the same thing. More silence. Where does this leave us? She finally asked. It doesn't, I said. There is no us. I hung up. Update 2. A week passed. I moved my stuff out while Sarah was at work. Mike helped me load everything into a U-Haul. I left my key on the kitchen counter with a note that just said, good luck. I didn't hear from her for 3 days after that. Then, on Saturday night, I got a call from an unknown number. Against my better judgment, I answered. Hey man, it's Derek. I almost hung up immediately. What do you want? Look, I just wanted to say, Sarah's really messed up about this. She's been crying a lot. And you're calling me because? Because she really loves you, dude. She made a mistake. I laughed. Couldn't help it. Did she tell you to call me? No. I just thought. Derek, let me make something clear. I don't care what Sarah's feeling right now. I don't care that she's crying. And I definitely don't care what you think. That's harsh, man. You know what's harsh? Watching someone you love choose their ex over you without a second thought. That's harsh. She didn't choose me. She took $7,600 out of our vacation fund to bail you out of jail. Without asking. Without discussing it. That's a choice, Derek. He was quiet. Don't call me again, I said, and hung up. I blocked the number. Then I blocked Sarah's number too. Update 3. 2 weeks later, I was settled into my mom's place and apartment hunting in a different part of the city. I'd started going to the gym again, sleeping better, even went on a date, nothing serious, just coffee with someone Mike introduced me to. Then Sarah showed up at my mom's house. My mom answered the door. I heard voices and came downstairs to find Sarah standing in the entryway, looking smaller somehow. I just want to talk, she said when she saw me. There's nothing to talk about. Please. Just 5 minutes. I looked at my mom. She gave me a look that said your call and retreated to the kitchen. I stepped outside, closed the door behind me. 5 minutes. Sarah's eyes were red. I miss you. Sarah, I know I screwed up. I know. But I love you, and I don't want to lose you over this. You already lost me. Because I helped Derek? Because you didn't even think about me. You saw he was in trouble, and your first instinct wasn't to talk to me, your partner. It was to fix his problem. With our money. She looked down. I panicked. For 2 days. What? It took 2 days for Derek to pay you back. That means he had access to money. Which means he didn't actually need you to bail him out. He just knew you would. Her face changed. That's not. He said he needed time to move things around. And you believe him? She didn't answer. Sarah, this isn't just about the money. It's about priorities. It's about respect. You didn't respect me enough to even have a conversation. You just decided and expected me to fall in line. I thought you'd understand, she said quietly. Yeah, you keep saying that. We stood there for a moment. A car drove past. Somewhere down the street, a dog barked. I can't fix this, can I? She finally said. No. She nodded slowly. Wiped her eyes. I really did love you, you know. I know, I said. But love isn't enough when you don't have respect. She left without another word. Final reflections. That was 3 weeks ago now. I signed a lease on a new apartment last week. Smaller than the old place, but it's mine. Just mine. I've been decorating it slowly, deliberately, choosing things I actually like instead of compromising. Work's been good. I got a promotion, actually, more money, more responsibility. The Japan trip is back on the table, except now I'm going solo in the spring. Already booked the flight. Mike asked me the other day if I regretted how I handled things. If I thought I'd overreacted. I told him no. Because here's what I learned. When someone shows you where you rank in their priorities, believe them the first time. Sarah didn't choose me. She chose Derek and his crisis and his problems. She chose the path of least resistance over our partnership. And when she texted, "You'll understand," she wasn't asking for understanding, she was demanding compliance. My understood wasn't agreement. It was goodbye. Sometimes the distance between two people isn't measured in miles. It's measured in choices. And Sarah made hers. I just made mine louder. Edit 1. A few people have asked if Derek ever paid her back the full amount. According to a mutual friend, he did, but then asked to borrow $500 2 weeks later for car repairs. Sarah apparently said no this time. Small victories, I guess. Edit 2. For everyone asking if I'm doing okay. Yeah, I am. Better than okay, actually. It's weird how much lighter you feel when you're not carrying someone else's poor decisions anymore.